Hi guys, welcome on our channel. This is another episode of Toe Journey. We are still within the Undertow, and the journey continues. Yeah, I'm really excited. Thank you so much for your comments. Obviously, at the beginning, I have to mention a few of comments under our last video, where I listened to Intolerance and Prison Sex, the starting songs on the whole album. What was really interesting is that intolerance apparently refers to the military prep school. So apparently some lines refer to minors' time spent in military school. Apparently there is certain military code which should be taken really seriously. So that's not something I would ever come up with. That's not something I would have insight. So thank you so much for providing me story behind it. And then we had prison sex. As you know, we had quite a few problems with it, haven't we, with the interpretation itself. Um, in main terms, I think most of the comments refer to the cycle of abuse. There was a little bit of disagreement as well. I don't know if you had a chance to read through the comments, but there was some there have been some kind of theories about um, abuse through generations, and there was some obviously reference to sex as an abuse cycle of abuse that can happen there. There was family, there was also church and whole kind of Christian and Catholic perspective, which was I know argued for by some people. Another one that I found as well was that it was about child being raped. So there was also a little bit of disagreement in regards to this. Now, it is my personal opinion, but I think every interpretation can slightly differ depending on the way you take on the song and the way you feel it. I personally think it's absolutely fine and it's okay. Nonetheless, it's quite good to know stories behind the certain lyrics. I don't know. What do you think? Did you observe anything in particular that caught your eye?
So I've also read through comments, obviously. Thank you for them, really. They were all very insightful and we learned a lot thanks to them. Uh, so yeah, for me, just the plurality of interpretations caught my attention. I think it's absolutely amazing that so many people have so many various different opinions of how to interpret that song. So I'm with the people saying that it's open for interpretation, and like I think you mentioned that in our first reaction video, that you like when you can relate to song personally. So I think that's I just agree with that. So
Yeah, so again, thank you really much for the comments. And what is also quite interesting, I think important, is that you should always remember that what the author of the lyrics meant, or the author of the song meant, is not necessarily the way the listener perceives it, which is okay as well. But in any event, I really enjoyed all the comments, the songs, obviously. I'm really grateful for it. And the journey continues today, so I'm really excited. Now we're gonna do sober, right?
yeah, we're gonna do sober. I think you mentioned first studio version first, and then live version.
Yeah, so we had so many recommendations. I think majority of people advise us to listen to the studio version first, which I think is quite good because it will give me opportunity to kind of focus on the lyrics, to take on the actual song, and then the live version, where perhaps I should see some kind of Maynard's performance, which is really excited. I
Because
don't
we're
think I
gonna
had a chance
Yeah,
to
we're
do it
gonna
yet.
do the video as well, not only live
Yes. So
audio.
it's it's really exciting. I'm not sure which actual live version you've chosen. So can you
So
give a little bit of insight?
yeah, so this will be a version from I think it's 1993 from Reading Festival.
Okay.
So it's not like great video quality. I think it's good enough to see, but it's not great. Audio is supposedly remastered, so it shouldn't be that bad. But I think you'll like it.
Okay, awesome. And is it gonna be really different from the live version?
Uh, from the studio, you mean?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think it's less different when it comes to like things like lyrics. So there's not gonna be so many changes in the lyrics and so on. But I think emotions and the whole arts side of things will be obviously different because you will see the video. So yeah,
Okay, lovely. So yeah, you ready?
you've got lyrics.
Let's keep going then.
You've got lyrics.
Yes, I've got lyrics. I'm well prepared. I have everything open right in front of me. Whew. Oh God, so exciting.
So studio version first. Ready?
I already like this.
There's a shadow just behind me, shrouding every step I take, making every promise empty, pointing every finger at me, waiting like a stalking butler, who upon the finger rests, murder now the bastard must we, just because the sun has come. Jesus wants to try and whistle something when the past is done. Jesus wants to try and whistle something when the past is done. Why can't we not be sober? Just want to start this over. Why can't we dream forever? Just want to start this over. I'm just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up and leave. I will work to elevate you, just enough to bring you down. Mother Mary wants to whisper something but the past is done. Mother Mary wants to whisper something but the past is done. Why can't we not be sober? Just want to start this over. Why can't we sleep forever? Just want to start this I am just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up and leave. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. Why can't we not be sober? Just want to start things over. Why can't we sleep forever? I just want to start
power.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's so powerful. So strong. Whoa. I don't know if we should make a break now or perhaps just listen to the...
How do you prefer?
I definitely want to hear this again, that's for sure.
So yeah, I was thinking
Oh my
maybe
God.
if you hear live version now, maybe you will be able to like think again about what you heard. So
Yeah.
the analysis might be better.
Yeah, I agree. I hope it's okay.
So the
That's
video.
so strong.
So for video, we've got everything prepared here.
I think I'm gonna resign from my notes, which will be slightly different than usual. But I think it will help me to focus on the video as well, and I can also use the other camera. So, okay. Are you ready? Okay, let's do it. Whoa. The music is very, very good.
Shining just behind me, shouting every step I take, making every promise empty, pointing every finger at me, waiting like a stalking butler, who upon the finger rests, murdered now the battle must be, just because the sun has come. Mother Mary, won't you whisper something about the past and done? Mother Mary, won't you whisper something about the past and done? Why we not be so good? Just want to stop this over. Why can't we sleep forever? Just want to stop this over. I am just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up and leave. I will work to elevate you. Just enough to bring it down. Mother Mary, won't you whisper something about the past and done? Mother Mary, won't you whisper something about the past and done? Why can't we not be sober? Just want to start this over. Why can't we sleep forever? Just want to stop this over.
It's rolling.
I am just a worthless liar. I am just an imbecile. I will only complicate you. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will
Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Okay, I think I'm gonna stick to this camera now, yeah? Whoa. Okay. I don't even know where to start. That was so deep and strong. Such a psychological aspect as well. Shall we start with this version or
Maybe
first
like
version?
maybe the song in general.
Yeah, whoa. I think it's gonna be another 10 out of 10, but honestly, I felt a little bit like when I listened to the Push It first, you know? The lyrics, and then when I've seen the performance, the song itself wasn't really different from the live version, I'd say, but the way he performs is like mesmerizing. You can't stop watching him. He's so into it, he's scrolling, and like he feels every single word. That's incredible. Coming back to the song though, so that's clearly about the addiction. That's my understanding, and we do know from psychological theories that addictive substance, not necessarily alcohol, but there is some literal reference to alcohol, but we usually get into the addiction into these substances to fill in this terrific void in our emotional lives due to our experiences. So that's kind of escape. So that's how I feel this song. It all kind of started making sense to me now as well. You know, the intolerance, then prison sex, and this whole cycle of abuse. It's like another step. Now he's oh my god, I feel like this whole album will be really, really great to listen. I can't wait to listen to another one, because it's like the whole journey, like every step of the way, isn't it? Like this whole cycle. What do you think?
So, so my other thoughts aside, I will just try to ask you more about what you were saying. So you were saying like this whole album is about series of, so there was abuse, right, in the previous song. Now there is substance abuse. So would you say it's like, what do you mean when you said another step?
So you know, like intolerance. If it's right that it's some kind of reference to this time in military school, taking seriously certain rules and regulations, right? Then we have this kind of insight into his life and this cycle of abuse, that the abuse that he experienced as a child, or in general the abuse you're experiencing. And then that's another, it just you know, the abuse is the coping mechanism to all of this, to all this baggage of experiences. That's how I feel this whole album. Maybe, oh god, it can be so deep. And the words, like, I am just a worthless liar. So he is able to recognize what the addiction did to him, and he thinks of himself less as of a human being, like he's worthless, because that's what the addiction does. And you know, depending on the awareness and your people around you, that's how others can feel you as well, if you are the person that is suffering from addiction.
So when I read the words, I am just a worthless liar, I am just an imbecile, and then there is, I will only complicate you, trust in me and fall as well. I think you can interpret it that from the perspective of substance itself. So think about it. Think like the it's substance talking, like let's say it's liquor talking.
Oh.
You see? So I will only complicate you. So I will only make your life more complicated. Trust in me and fall as well. I will find a center in you. I will chew it up and leave. I will work to elevate you just enough to bring you down. I think the last two verses are, for me, showing it's the substance talking.
Or it's like his unconscious dialogue with himself.
Maybe.
If you're addicted and you are becoming aware of the addiction. You are starting to realize what the addiction is doing to your life. So it can be actually part of the fight and trying to get out of this addiction, you know?
Especially that there is what I read was from the first person perspective, like I am, and the next couple of verses there is why can't we, it's like we. So I think this whole lyrics for that songs are so deep. It's so deep.
You know, I think so many people can relate to this in so many different ways.
Addiction can also be not from the substance. It can we can be addicted from people. We can be addicted from even emotions, I guess.
Or there can be so many things and types of addiction.
Behavior can be addictive, right? Anything can be.
You know, for a moment, the way I felt though, when he said, "Why can't we not be sober?" What I kind of felt the song through as well was perhaps not, because that's really interesting as well, the aspect that he's actually talking to the substance, or it's just his internal dialogue with himself. But maybe he also recognized somebody else in the similar state, or it can be actual conversation between two addicted people that are trying to understand, you know.
That's something I read about.
Really?
That supposedly it's about...
You read something about this.
I did, because you always ask me about that. So this time I read something. So supposedly it's their friend of the band, whose artistic expression only comes out when he's under the influence of some substance. But to me, when I read the lyrics, it's much more deep. So I was going to bring one more thing to the equation. So there are words like Mother Mary, Jesus, and things like religion. And from the previous album, Opiate, and someone mentioned in comments like religion is opiate for masses and things like that. So I think you can also interpret that song through the lenses of religion as well.
Yeah, I think there is this religion, I don't want to say religion vibe, but really this kind of religious aspect, really. I think it's kind of sometimes hidden, sometimes flowing like through every song a little bit. Obviously, it is, again, subject to interpretation. But in this, even in the intolerance, the prison sex, there is some kind of a way that you can fit this religious part into it. And in here, yes, the reference to Mother Mary, to the Jesus as well. So it can be, Jesus wants you to whistle. So he can actually blame the faith a little bit in that sense, and the religion itself. So it is really, really strong, really deep. I was going to go into this, but when you look into the performance side of things, he's like feeling every single word. That's how he looks like. He's so not even focused. It's stronger than just being focused on the song, isn't it?
It's living the song.
Yes, he's literally living the song.
Yeah.
So there must be something going in his mind as he's singing every sentence. It's incredible. That's absolutely lovely song. I love that. I don't know, would you like to say anything? We had actually a few comments that maybe, or perhaps we should have a little bit of research, even by Google, after our chat, to see whether we are, on the right track. I actually enjoyed the comments, and then our investigations and your analysis in the comments, but maybe you would like to have a little bit of look up.
Right now or
later? What do you think?
I don't know, I was having a thought about something that would be a rabbit hole right now, so I didn't want to start this. So
what do you mean?
So do you know...
I started.
So do you know, I don't know if you know, that some people think that religion is like adaptation of human beings in the process of evolution, that we developed religion as a coping mechanism for not knowing of what's there.
Yeah.
So I started to looking at this lyrics here through that lenses a little bit.
Yeah, and it can be
But it can be long topic.
over-interpretation. It can be completely incorrect, but it can be really, really interested if we're going into this area, because indeed,
In the previous songs like Intolerance there and Prison Sex, coping mechanism is there as
yeah, if you will go through from the oldest philosophy till the newest one, there's always the religious emphasis on religion as being the coping mechanism, the struggle that is life and living. So even if I will go further and say that addiction in this song, in this sense, can be the religion, that's getting even more meaning, more deep meaning. It's really incredible, isn't it?
Yeah. For example, the verse, "Why can't we sleep forever?" As in, sleep forever being live forever, I guess.
Yeah, why can't we drink forever, and then why can't we sleep forever, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's how it went. Yeah, so why can't we be immortal? Why we don't know everything? Why we need to jump into the hands of the religion, which is so hard as well, which is so addictive and is a struggle in itself. It's supposed to bring us, a little bit of relief in those hard times that is the human struggle through life.
Yeah, but it gives you just I think there was a verse for that as well. I will work to elevate you just enough to bring you down. I think that's interesting as well, because
yeah, again, religious point, isn't it?
I think it's both. It's dualistic. It's both. You can relate it to substances and to religion. So I mean, we can go on this forever through that lyrics.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm amazed when I kind of started listening to the words of the music. Again, I need to mention the musical aspect, because like I feel like with every song that I listen to, it's just getting better and better. I don't know if it's silly
Also,
or it's literally how that's the way it works, because you told me it can happen, and honestly, I the music side of things is really great, but I'm really amazed how I think the whole album is kind of a journey and next steps, and this whole album is the circle of the story that he wants to tell. That's incredible. Okay then, is there anything else you would like to add? Because yeah, we can go. I think we can spend hours talking about
just
this
like I
one.
said, I think we can go on forever with just those lyrics. I would just like to add one more thing. So the very last verse, "I want what I want." I think in psychology of addiction, the not knowing what person wants is often a topic of conversations. Like if you don't know what to do with your life, falling into addiction is just an answer, because you don't have anything better to be doing. So I just wanted to point out that last verse.
Yeah, so it is kind of I always think of addiction from this psychological aspect as well, as kind of feeling the terrific void in their emotional life. And that's the part of the coping mechanism as well. Because I think we focus more on the religion, but yeah, at the beginning I had what I felt was like really, really strong as well. The addiction, in this case, I felt it easier to kind of relate to the addiction from alcohol. So in the words itself, it seems as though he actually realized that he is addicted. So as with any addiction, it takes courage and also a lot of work to actually realize in what place you are now, and what the actual addiction is and is doing to you. So I had this feeling that he, in the further down the song, as we went and he started saying I'm just a worthless liar, from that part on, he kind of made this realization already, what the addiction is and is doing to him. So it's just so strong.
Well, I would say if he keeps thinking he's a worthless liar, he won't be able to get off the addiction, because in order to get off the addiction, he needs to see some worthiness in himself. So that's why I think that part, I am just a worthless liar, I am just an imbecile, I will only complicate you, and so on, is from the perspective of substance. So it's substance talking, that he is
that
worthless.
maybe. Yeah, that's a really good point, you know, which makes me thinking maybe indeed I went too far, and in the next or perhaps in after two more songs on the album, we're gonna have further answer. Honestly, I cannot wait. I feel this whole album is getting stronger and stronger, and I'm really happy that we listened to Sober. We're gonna listen to it tonight.
Like any other song we already you already
Yeah,
listened to.
yeah.
Like we drive in a car and
Yeah.
you mentioned you like it. It's growing on you.
You know, I must say that I feel like as this project is expanding, I'm growing. My experience and the way I feel when listening to Tool is like grown so much already, and it's growing every day, which is it's just brilliant. I absolutely love it. So yeah, is there anything you would like to add before we finish
No,
for tonight?
just something nice to hear. There's 7 more songs on that album.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, and we are still on Undertow 1993.
yes, correct. There's plenty more albums.
I know the years. Yeah, I have a list of all the albums, so we will get there. Thank you again for watching. Thank you again for all your comments, and perhaps on the next video we may include some extras, some bonuses, as per your recommendations. So we'll see. Before we go, score.
For me, Sober is easy 10 out of 10, to be honest. So
Yeah, for me it's definitely 10 out of 10, and I'm amazed with with how deep the words are. So I'm really grateful that I discovered this song tonight. Thanks for watching.
thank you.
Thumbs up.